Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my February book haul. So this is the first video I am filming. It might not be the first video you see, where I'm in front of my new bookshelves and I can't stop smiling. This is making me so excited. I wish I would have, done myself up a bit more, but we're in the middle of moving in. I say we, it's me. In the middle of moving in, I have a lot to do. I couldn't have a shower last night because I forgot to move towels in, so I'm not really with it. So we're just gonna do this because I have these books that now need to be put away onto these shelves, and then I can start March afresh with my TBR cart, and I'm having a shelf for book hauls. It's all very exciting, but just look at this. Oh my god, I am so happy. So considering I was on a book buying ban, we have quite a few books to get through, but there is only one I paid for with actual money that wasn't birthday money, or it wasn't postage for a free book. So I actually did fine, but the point of my book buying ban was to get down my number of books, not spend less. So I haven't actually achieved my goal. It's fine. Okay, so the late presents that turned up, or some of these actually turned up the day after my birthday, so still in January, but I'd already filmed my haul, so not late, but these are the ones I haven't yet mentioned. The first one is These Violent Delights by Chloe Hong. This was gifted to me by William. I'm so grateful for this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that cover, it's amazing. I still can't get over the look of the shelves in the background. I'm gonna have to calm down. Okay, so These Violent Delights is a beauty... It's not. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling in 1920s Shanghai, and that is all I know about this book, and I know that it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have heard so many people rave about this, and I definitely don't know much about either the 1920s or Shanghai, so I think it's going to be a really good time. Then the next one I have is The Night Swim by Megan Goldin, and this is from Kitty, so thank you so much, Kitty. This I was interested in because I read The Escape Room by Megan Goldin and really liked it, so I thought this had to be as great. I've also heard really rave reviews about this. I don't really want to read much from the background. I'm not with it. Read much from the blurb because it is a thriller, but I'll read 2 little paragraphs and try not to read the rest. So it says, Rachel Crawl is a household name, famous for her true crime podcast that sets an innocent man free. Now she's back covering a devastating rape trial. A local golden boy stands accused. The victim is the granddaughter of the police chief in this close-knit town. So that's all I'm going to read. I really love true crime podcasts, so the fact that this is related in some way, which I didn't actually know until this second, has really intrigued me. And yeah, I've just heard amazing things, so can't wait to get to this one. Next is another one I am so grateful for, and that is The Beautiful by Renee Adier. So this was gifted to me by Rhiannon, just because, from the Welsh reader, sorry, I should say that anyone I mentioned will be linked in the description. So this was raved about by her while we were on live shows, and I was like, oh, I really need to read that. And it turned up the next day, so thank you so much. I really wasn't expecting it. It was actually a happy birthday and congrats on 1K, so thank you, Rhiannon. I really do appreciate it. So this is, in 1872, New Orleans is a city ruled by the dead, but to 17-year-old Celine Rousseau, I'm going to say that says, it's also a safe haven after she's forced to flee her life in Paris. Quickly enraptured by the vibrant city, from its music to its extravagant soirees and even its danger, she soon becomes embroiled in the city's glitzy underworld, and particularly the group known as La Crawdads. I'm just going to say that's what it says. I do actually have 3 French qualifications and cannot speak French, so that's fine. I've tried my best, I promise. But yeah, this just sounds like such a good time, and it's giving me massive vibes of the originals. If you've watched the Vampire Diaries spin-off, that's what I'm feeling from this book, even if it's nothing related, and I really want to dive in. Next, we have a couple of Just Because presents, which I know I'm very grateful for my birthday presents, for my 1K presents, but sometimes just books turning up, I will cry because there is no need for these people to have given me anything, and I'm so amazingly grateful. So the first two are actually really weird, seeing as I've just moved into a new place. I had a message from somebody who lives in my old house that I moved out of over a year ago now, to say there were some parcels for me, so I was intrigued. The first one in that was A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro, and this was a random gift from Victoria, what Victoria read. I texted her, there was no reason, she just wanted to send it to me. It just took about a year to get to me, so this gives me truly devious vibes, but it is a, I believe, gender-bent YA Sherlock and Watson story. So I won't read too much from the back, but it says the last thing Jamie Watson wants is a rugby scholarship to Sherringford, a Connecticut prep school just an hour away from his estranged father. But that's not the only complication. Sherringford is also home to Charlotte Holmes, the famous detective's great-great-great-granddaughter, who has inherited not only Sherlock's genius, but also has a volatile temperament. So yeah, gender bent, Sherlock Holmes, YA, feels like Truly Devious, kind of looks like Truly Devious. Intrigued. Next, we had a spontaneous gift from Mal at a book fiend named Mal, which again took about a year to get to me, but that is The Million Pieces of Nina Gill by Emily Smith Barton. This was the group read for, I want to say, Mental Health-a-thon, potentially, last year, and that's why I added it to my wish list. But this was such a lovely gift from Mal. She just said, I love your channel, you always make me smile, thanks for such great content. I thought this book looked super interesting, I hope you like it. So I don't actually remember what this is about. I know it's a heavy hitting YA contemporary. It says, how can I hold myself together when everything around me is falling apart? Mood. It says, Nina's always been a good girl, but when her brother disappears without a trace, her family becomes fractured beyond repair, and Nina finds herself spiralling out of control as she tries to find out what happened to Akash. Surrounded by broken friendships, a broken heart, and an increasingly broken grip on her sanity, Nina's never felt more hopeless. But as she's about to discover, sometimes it's in our darkest moments that we find our true strength. So I heard amazing things about this because of that readathon, if I've got that right. I think I have. Yeah, I heard amazing things and decided I had to give it a go myself. So thank you very much, Mel. Next, we have two from the lovely Claire over at Books and Ink on Instagram. I will make sure she is linked in the description. But she sent me two books that she just heard that I wanted to get my hands on. I think it was through my wish list, or I was talking about them loads in vlogs or something. But she very, very kindly reached out and said, I have them, would you like them? The first one of those is Harrow Lake by Kat Ellis. I will say that the English cover is not as great as the American one, but it does have yellow sprayed edges, so it looks kind of funky. So this is Lola Knows All About Harrow Lake. Her famous father directed Nightjar, the cult horror movie that was filmed there. She knows about the caves beneath the fairground, the sunken graveyard, the tree in the woods that's hung with teeth, but she doesn't know about the dark past the town hides or the secrets it holds about her family. Now she finds herself in Harrow Lake, and as she searches for answers, someone or something is stalking her every move. It just sounds so, so creepy. And I actually already have a buddy read with Rhiannon planned for this next month. I want to say April. It's April. Yeah, we're doing it in April. But yeah, sounds so interesting, so scary. Really like the sound of it. And the other one from her was Bunny by Mona Awad. So I have heard amazing things about this from people and also awful things about this. Apparently it's just so weird that you can't get a good grip on whether you actually like it, is what some people have said. Again, I don't want to read too much into the back of this one, but it says, we call them bunnies because that's what they call each other. Seriously, bunny. Samantha Heather Mackey is an outsider in her small, highly selective MFA program at Warren University. Okay, that's the only annoying thing. The lighting is awful anyway. I'm trying to make the best, but there's a car park right there and the cars come out with their headlights through my window. Anyway, in fact, she is utterly repelled by the rest of her fiction writing cohorts. A clique of unbearably twee rich girls who call each other Bunny. But then the bunnies issue her with an invitation and Samantha finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, across their threshold and down their rabbit hole. Blending sharp satire with fairy tale horror, Bunny is a spellbinding trip of a novel from one of fiction's most original new voices. I am very, very intrigued. It sounds so weird, so interesting, and I cannot wait to read it. And finally, we actually have another present from Victoria, and that is The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. So she is too much. Victoria is the loveliest human on the planet, and she sent me this book to say congratulations for hitting monetization, which, oh my god, is so exciting in itself anyway, but getting a gift from Victoria was the cherry on top. This book I only added to my wish list because she said it was amazing and that I might like it. This is a adult thriller, and I think she said it's quite gory. I could be wrong. It says 28 years ago, Charlotte and Samantha Quinn's childhoods were destroyed by a terrifying attack on their family home. It left their mother dead, it left their father, a notorious defence attorney, devastated, and it left the family consumed by secrets from that shocking night. 28 years later, Charlie has followed in her father's footsteps to become a lawyer, but when violence comes to their hometown again, this case triggers memories she's desperately tried to suppress, because the shocking truth about the crime which destroyed her family won't stay buried forever. It's quite a chunker, I didn't realise. It's like 500 pages. But yeah, came highly on Victoria's recommendation, and then she kindly purchased it for me, so definitely have to read it soon. Next, let's do one that I think is really exciting, and that is the first physical book I have ever been sent by an author for review, and that is one by Jennifer L. Carhill. This is a adult contemporary romance, which I think was actually published a couple of years ago. It was published in 2018, but Jennifer reached out and provided it to me for review, so I will be trying to get to this very, very soon. This says, it's London in the mid-noughties before Facebook, iPhones, and ubiquitous Wi-Fi. Still don't know what that word means. Rebecca, help me out. I know you know what it means. And one follows the highs and lows of a group of 20-somethings living in leafy SW4. Zara has just moved to London for her first real job and struggles to find her feet in a big city with no instruction manual. Penelope works night and day in an investment bank with little or no time for love. At 28, she is positively ancient as far as her mother is concerned, and the pressure is on for her to settle down as the big 3-0 is looming. Charlie spends night and day with his band, who are constantly teetering on the verge of greatness. Richard has relocated to London from his castle in Scotland in search of the one, and Alex is barely in one place long enough to hold down a relationship, let alone think about the future. So yeah, she reached out to me and asked if I'd like to read this book and kindly provided me with a physical copy, so I am definitely going to try and get this on a TBR very soon. Next, let's get on to books I bought with birthday money, because there's a few. The first one being House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielowski. This is Kayla's from Books and Lala's book club pick for March, I believe. And apparently it's an experience. It's a horror. There is no description on the back. I have not looked into Goodreads, and it is weird. It is like a script in places. There are empty pages. There are pages where things are crossed out in red. I don't know. I've been told it's an experience, so I decided to fork out for this giant of a book. And I guess we'll see what I think, hopefully soon. Next, I have one that's been on my radar a little while, but I haven't picked up, and I finally took this opportunity to do so, and that is Feed by Myra Grant. This is the author of Into the Drowning Deep, which I absolutely loved. It's also Shauna Maguire, but her horror pen name. So this is a zombie book. It says the year was 2014, we had cured cancer, we had beaten the common cold, but in doing so, we created something new, something terrible that no one could stop. The infection spread, virus blocks taking over bodies and minds with one unstoppable command: feed. Now, 20 years after the rising, bloggers Georgia and Sean Mason are on the trail of the biggest stories of their lives, the dark conspiracy behind the infected. The truth will out, even if it kills them. It's quite a chunker, but I did find that with Myra Grant's writing in Into the Drowning Deep, I really enjoyed the horror aspects, and because this feels like more heavy horror, I am very excited to give it a go. Next, we have maybe everyone's most anticipated release of this year, which I will not be getting to quite yet, and that is A Cult of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. So if you are unaware, this is the start of the new kind of ACOTAR books, ACOSF as we're calling it. So I will not give any spoilers, because I even think if you haven't read the last book yet and you're making your way through the series, knowing what characters these are about, like this is about, kind of gives a spoiler. I mean, it doesn't, but it does. But this follows two characters who are not the main characters of the ACOTAR series, and it says the Court of Thorns and Roses series continues in this sexy, action-packed novel. That's all I'll tell you. I'm very excited, and it's a chunker. the next chunker that I cannot wait to read, and I might be reading this sooner than I originally thought, is Crush by Tracy Wolff. So this is the sequel to Crave, which I read in January and gave 5 stars. It is a trashy YA vampire story. It's a pretty much Twilight rip-off, the first book. And I decided I had to get the second. She is releasing 2 new books this year to finish off this series. And I just can't love it enough. Crave is about a school for supernaturals, let's say, and our main character Grace appears at that school. It's her uncle's school, he runs it, after the tragic death of her mother and father. And she doesn't know it's a school for supernaturals. We all do, it's very obvious. And it just has all the trashy tropes of that genre. This being the sequel, I don't know what we're gonna get, but I'm so excited. Last one in this pile, we have If You Dare by A.R. Torr. This is the 3rd and final book in the Girl in 6E series that I've been so excited to read. I won't go into this too much. I feel like I rave about that series so much. But the Girl in 6E is an adult thriller, I guess, about a cam girl who is she believes she has a serial killer gene. And she locks herself away in her apartment. She never comes out because she knows that as soon as she is out, she is going to kill someone. So yeah, she is a cam girl to make money in that time, and it's very descriptive. I don't know what this book is going to follow, but I'm so excited. Just a random one here. This is one I bought with my own money with no actual excuses. And that is because I was buying books for Emily over at Novel Novels for her birthday, and this was £2 on Amazon, so I added it to my basket. And that is Stags by M.A. Bennett. I don't know too much about this apart from the fact I just spent the brand new cover. It says 9 students, 3 blood sports, 1 deadly weekend. There are some invitations you just shouldn't accept. Greer MacDonald doesn't know that yet. A thriller that twists and turns right to the end. I don't know. I think this is some sort of closed setting blood sport YA thriller? Who knows? But it was £2. And finally, I said that as I was standing up, we have a giant stack of books from Bookswap. So I'm going to go through them all. If you are unaware, Bookswap is a book swapping website. I am not at all sponsored. I just really, really enjoy using it. So using this website, you can sign up with my link. I very much suggest you do so, please. But as soon as you sign up, you get 1 free ordering point. You can order any book from their website, which comes directly from another person. You pay about £3 in postage and you get that book for free. You then list your books on the website, and when someone orders a book from you, you get another ordering point, and it keeps going around like that. I have never used their service so much as I did this month, and there were such good books on there that I could not stop myself. So yeah, we have a few. The first one is Meat Market by Juno Dawson. So I read Clean and absolutely loved it. This is a story about models, I think, and it says, how can beauty be so ugly? I've heard very mixed things, but I absolutely loved Clean, so wanted to give this a go, and I'm not going to look into it more. I'm going to go in pretty blind. Next, I have a book that I actually needed to get my hands on that doesn't really need much explanation, and that is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 2nd book in the Throne of Glass series, and as I'm taking part in Tog Along, where we read 1 book from the Throne of Glass series every month, I had to get it. It's book number 2. Need to read it next month. I don't have more to say than that. Throne of Glass is a great book. I'm currently working through my reread of that first book. It's Sarah J. Maas. It's fantasy, there's assassins, it's a good time. Next, I have one that I got purely on Mollie's recommendation, and that is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I had been interested in this for a while, but I was going to leave it, and then Mollie really pushed it. So it says, they told us to wait and stay alive. A New York Times bestseller, Wilder Girls is a visceral and addictive thriller about survival and the power of female friendships. I've heard that this is amazing, and then the ending has very, very mixed reviews. So I don't know. I think there's something about a virus where they're like quarantined on an island. Intrigued, really. Intrigued covers it. Next, we have one that I saw in a lot of people's videos of the best books of 2020, and that is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. Again, don't know much about it. It's a horror. and it kind of matches my outfit. I'm kind of enjoying it. So it says, 10 years ago, Ricky, Gabe, Lewis and Cassidy shot some elk. It happens every year. It's been happening forever. It's the way it's always been. But this time it's different. Now, a decade later, these men are being stalked themselves, hunted, bound to their heritage, bound by society and trapped in the endless expanses of the landscape. These men and their children must face the ferocious spirit that is coming for them, one at a time. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Only 4 more to go in this video. This book haul has been quite something. The next one is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I wasn't going to get this, I won't lie, and then Brittany said she was interested and my boss at work said it was great. So I've got it. I'm not going to look into it anymore. I feel like it's been very, very hyped and I'd like to go into it as blind as possible because I already have the hype giving me really good expectations. Next we have one I actually really wanted to get onto the tour for this when it was released, but I didn't quite do it, and now I've managed to get the book, and that is Influence by Sarah Shepherd and Lilia Buckingham. Sarah Shepherd is the author of Pretty Little Liars, and I was so excited to read her latest book. But this is about 4 people, 4 girls who are very intensely into social media. It says, to everyone clicking, DMing, following and faving, these girls are living the dream, but are they really? The sun is hot in California and someone's going to get burned. Again, I want to go in pretty blind. It sounds really good and I'm getting Pretty Little Liars vibes, obviously. Nearly done. The next one is one that has been very, very hyped lately, and it was very hyped when it actually came out, but I finally have a copy, and that is The Wicker King by Kay Ancrum. The thing I absolutely love is how dark the pages get by the end. Apparently they get murkier and murkier as the main character's mental health gets murkier. It's told in mixed media. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Like, even the normal pages look amazing. We have a little coffee order thing here. But this is about August, who is a misfit with a pyro streak, and Jack is a golden boy on the varsity rugby team. But their intense friendship goes way back. It's something they keep for themselves and they rely on each other for survival. When Jack begins to see increasingly vivid hallucinations, August decides to help Jack the only way he knows how, by believing him and believing in the fantasy world that creeps into the edges of the real world. I've heard amazing, amazing things. It's apparently a very quick read, and I might actually read it for my 24-hour readathon that's coming up. And finally, a book I'm so excited to dive into, and that is The Beauty and the Beast by, who is it actually by? Gabrielle Suzanne Barbo de Villanueva? That's Spanish, not French. How do you say that in French? I don't know. It's Beauty and the Beast. And this is the Mina Lima edition, where there are interactive elements. So let me just find one. We have this wardrobe here where something's going to happen when we open it, but we're not going to mess with it. This, I have never actually read the original Beauty and the Beast story, so that is the main reason why I'm excited for this, but the Mina Lima edition is just so gorgeous. I know Victoria has like all of the ones that are available for this, and she raves about how cute they are, so I decided to grab one when I saw it on BookSwap. So there we go, that is my giant haul for February. It's not as big as January's, but seeing as I was on a book buying ban, it's pretty extensive. I am now going to sit and put these all on my lovely new bookshelves, and I cannot wait to do that. So I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to keep talking. We've been here long enough, but on that note, thank you very, very much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.